Hiya.
Hey, I'm Taylor.
And I'm Khadijah.
And welcome to the
Degrassi
Degrassi Authority. Yay! Woo! Woo!
So, this is a video to overview the 4th episode of Degrassi Season 14.
Woo! 14A in the house.
Yep. It wasn't quite as anger-inducing as last week's episode.
No,
but quite a few things did happen.
Yes. We have to talk about these.
Okay, so we start off with Allie and Claire talking. Apparently Claire hasn't told Eli yet about the baby. Mm-hmm. And then suddenly Eli's there for this summer job thing that I guess is going on, even though it's not really summer yet.
Not summer.
And I didn't know that universities or schools got out that early for summer.
Yeah.
And they're all going along happy-go-lucky, and Allie's giving Claire a look, and Eli's like, yeah, we got to talk about our future and stuff. Yeah. And it's like, our future.
About that.
And so, yeah, that happened. And then next we they're in school. Okay, so Miles and Winston are in their science class, I think it is. They just walk in, and Winston asks Miles, like, why, do you know why Frankie's been so weird?
You know what? I didn't even catch. I get it now.
You get it? Okay.
I get that
yeah, after
now.
She's weird because she's sending nudie pics to people. That's
yes.
why she's being weird.
I did not catch that. I'm having an epiphany right now.
Yeah, so that's
so weird.
That's happening. And Miles said that he hasn't noticed his sister's weirdness because she's always weird.
Yeah, she's 14.
He needs to be a better big brother because things are happening. She's distributing child pornography.
Exactly.
Get it together.
She's a distributor right now.
Yeah, and so Winston and Miles, they sit down, and then Tristan comes in, and he, like, looks at Winston, and he's like, and Winston's like, what?
Yeah.
And Tristan's like, boyfriend dibs.
Which is not a thing.
It's
just
not. Thank you, Winston, for saying that that's not a thing.
That's
just in case people were mistaken.
That's a thing. It's
not
a thing. So I just want to warn you guys. You cannot go up to your boyfriend's friends who he's been friends with for 30 years.
Yeah.
Even though he's not 30 years old. He's been friends with them for 30 years and just call boyfriend dibs. Yeah. That's not how that works.
It's not a happening thing. And so Winston actually gets up and he moves, even though Winston was sitting there first.
I'd be like, excuse me, I call best friend dibs.
I
call this is my seat because I sat here first dibs. How about that?
Yeah, and so Winston ends up sitting by Zoe, and then they end up having to be lab partners.
Yeah.
And that's the only hint of learning that we get in this entire episode.
Yeah. There's one every episode. You got a little taste.
A little moment, little tidbit to keep us on our toes.
Yeah.
Next, we head over to the rubber room, and Grace and Maya are having an arm wrestling contest. Yeah. Goodness knows Maya was never going to win. Like,
what is she supposed to do with that noodle?
I know.
Flip it around? Like, what kind
I don't know what she was even trying for.
I don't either.
And so, of course, Grace wins. Surprise, surprise.
Wow, didn't expect that.
And then Zig's like, okay, I'm a battler. Oh, yeah. Big Zig, sleeveless shirt. You got these muscles.
Think I just ripped the sleeves off and nothing? Yeah. Look at this.
You got to see me when I win. You got to see me.
Look at this.
And
guns.
He loses.
He does.
He loses. He claims that he lost because he was distracted by Tiny taunting him about possibly losing to a girl, but I think he just straight up lost because there was quite a struggle before Tiny even started talking to him.
Sure enough.
And so his ego's like super bruised, and he's pouty in his sleeveless shirt,
and
just
put
like
sleeves on. I don't deserve to show my muscles to the world.
Yeah.
The gun show is closed.
Yes, ladies, walk away. It's over. I'm putting on a cardigan. I mean,
just gonna start wearing parkas now.
And in this part, I actually realized that Maya's wearing a lot more black than usual.
She's in the rubber room.
I guess that's just what the rubber room does.
Yes, I mean, when in Rome.
Yeah, do as those black wearing Romans.
Exactly.
And so then we see Winston and Zoe are talking because apparently they're now best friends since
because
they're lab partners. So they're gonna have a heart-to-heart. And
Yeah.
Winston's sitting there. He's plotting, like full-fledged plotting, to break up Miles and Tristan. He's coming up with plans all out of wazoo.
Oh yeah.
Goodness
I mean, he said he was gonna set Miles up or something so he could cheat on Tristan.
Dude, this is your best friend. You've known him longer than when you were 7.
Exactly. That could cause some like real traumatic issues there.
And that was another instance of them actually working on schoolwork because Zoe doesn't care and she's just like, why don't we get back to this work that they miraculously have once a season.
Yeah. Little taste of some school in here.
Then we see Claire in her bedroom and she's practicing how to tell Eli that she's a Prager's. And honestly, this shows where my priorities lie. My first thought is, why isn't she in school? Just because you got into Columbia doesn't mean you can start skipping school. Why were you in the accelerated program when you came to Degrassi if you don't even go to class?
Yeah. She's like, I go to Columbia now. I don't know what Degrassi is. I don't have to go to school. What is that? What is high school?
Claire's mom comes in and she's like, Claire, so Drew's mom just called me. And Claire's like, oh, she did.
The cat's out of the bag.
And then her mom's like, yeah, her and Drew are heading over right now. And it's like, oh.
Dun, dun, dun.
And then we didn't see. And then they just took a break from that. And another thing that stood out to me, why isn't Drew in school? Why is he just at home?
Searching for cribs
He can't afford to. He's already been held back a year. And he's freaking class president. And you're just sitting there skipping class.
He wants to be a super duper senior. That's what he wants.
Y'all can do this on the weekend.
Exactly.
I mean, y'all got time. After school, you got plenty of other times that you can be having this conversation.
Apparently,
you need to be in school.
Exactly. Apparently, the timeline's off, and we're going back to summer break soon.
Yeah.
So you're about to have a lot of time to...
Oh, yeah. So that happened. And then we're in the hallways, and Zoe and some other cheerleading girls are like, oh, nice gift, Zig. Nice gift.
Well, yeah.
And what was weird is, do people really go around saying, oh, gift this, gift that? Or usually they're like, oh, did you see this gift? Not, oh, nice gift. I feel like they'd be more likely to be like, oh, I saw that video of you losing, not, oh, nice gift. Like, I feel like we don't throw that term around.
They're very computer-oriented at Degrassi.
They
throw out their computer homework vocab terms.
I don't see that happening. Do you see that happening?
I don't know about that. Yeah, you're right.
I know that gifts exist, but at the same time, they're not talked about in that manner.
I don't know. Maybe they're just really computer-oriented at Degrassi.
I guess so.
They're like, hey, look at this proxy server I just found out.
And so he's like, Tiny, you put that online? And Tiny's like, why do you think it was me?
Yeah, it was me.
Because you're the only one who filmed it happening. And Tiny's like, yeah, it was me.
It's like Dre from Are You the One?
Yes!
Yeah,
it's in the Notebook. Like, that don't mean you can go around accusing me.
Okay, side note, yeah, sorry. That was a little tidbit for you guys who watch Are You the One on MTV. But.
So Zig gets mad and slams Tiny into a locker. And then Maya's like, oh my gosh, guys, a teacher's coming. And then this random teacher that we've never seen
ever just comes out of nowhere. Like, what y'all doing out here? Like, nobody's scared of you. You don't even go here.
You don't exist. You're in a garage. For all we know, you could be Tristan's dad.
Exactly. I'm just surprised nobody, like, I wanted to put a hood on and just be like, you don't even go here. Just in the back. Like, he's not from here.
Oh yeah. So yeah, they got interrupted by a mirage of a teacher.
Exactly.
Okay, next, Claire's mom is having a serious discussion, pacing back and forth with Claire. This whole pregnant thing.
You're the smartest kid I know. How could you get pregnant at 17?
You were in the accelerated program. How did you get here?
I mean, I had to keep up with the other kids in the accelerated program and get pregnant.
For real. Everybody had a baby.
Yeah, I was the only one that didn't get pregnant except for Connor. Like, I mean, Connor can't get pregnant, but like I'm saying, because Casey had a baby, Allie got pregnant. Like,
yeah,
everybody's getting pregnant in the accelerated program. Come on,
man, hide your kids, hide your wife.
Yeah, because the accelerated kids are coming, and they're just knocking everybody out.
And friggin', I honestly don't understand why she was in the accelerated program. She says to her mom, "This doesn't change anything." Trick.
It does change.
This changes everything.
It changes a lot.
Like, this is not... You're not getting an iguana. You're not even getting a random pig. Like, that would be weird. You are having a human come out of your naughty bits in about 9 months. That's going to change things.
You got to feed it and take care of it, make sure it's...
18 years.
Yeah.
18 years. She got one of your kids. Got you for 18 years.
You done. Yeah, she's just trying to go to Columbia. Columbia's an Ivy League school.
Dude.
I've been struggling at community college, Claire.
My college don't even have grades, and I'm struggling. I do.
You trying to go to Columbia?
With a baby.
A baby.
Claire Edwards always has a plan. She says, "Oh, I always have a plan."
Was your plan to get pregnant? Because I don't think that you plan. You're not planning too well right now, so maybe you should just...
I feel like this wasn't even in the fine print of your plan.
It wasn't. So I don't understand where your plans are going wrong, but they're going wrong. So
yeah.
You need to revise on the plans, maybe. That's a good idea.
Yep, so then they just kind of breathe. And then we go to... where they were at some restaurant. Were they at the Dot?
They were at the Dot.
The Rubber Room crew. They were at the Dot.
No, they weren't. They were at Maya's house.
No, because it was after that. It was because remember they were eating something.
Yeah, in Maya's kitchen.
No, they were eating. It was some sort of fast food because it had like the checkered little paper thing.
Yeah.
No, they went to Maya's house later. They showed them at Maya's house later when they were talking about
They were in Maya's kitchen they had gone to the fast food place. They didn't show them going there, but they had off screen gone to the fast food place, and they had that fast food container.
But these were two different scenes: them eating the fast food and then them doing the thing.
Yeah, they ate the food in the kitchen, and they did the stick and poke in the living room.
No, because those are two. I mean, those are two different scenes. They didn't even introduce the stick and poke thing yet.
Yeah, they were still in the kitchen though.
So they had 3 scenes in Maya's house. That you're saying? Are you sure they were?
I'm sure. We can watch it again if you want after.
I feel like they were at the fast food place.
They weren't at the fast food place because there would have been other people at the fast food place.
I feel like there were other people in the background.
There weren't.
Okay, well, everything's suddenly squared away with Zig and Tiny. They're all snacking. Chilling. And apparently this is now Maya's new crew. She's just rolling with the Rubber Room all the time. I mean, her best friend is now in a relationship with her ex-boyfriend. Yeah, so she got nobody.
She doesn't have anybody to hang out with. I just gotta hang out with the Rubber Room.
Gotta wear black so I can fit in. Okay.
Because we're all goths.
And then we go to the scene where it all goes down with Drew and Claire and their moms.
Yes, and the moms are pacing, especially Audra.
Audra's like, what are you thinking? Like,
I don't know
you think you could just ruin your life and my son's life? Yeah. And okay, she was kind of overstepping there as a parent. That was a bit much. I know she's in a heat of anger and passion and a lot of confusion. Yes, but you got to watch yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's like, oh, you're ruining everybody's life. And Claire says that her plan is to have the baby and still go to Columbia because apparently Columbia has family housing
But her big. Are you gonna say the ringer in her big?
Well,
plan?
first I was gonna say I think that Columbia has family housing for people who down the line after they've had a baby for like a few years and they're used to being a mother. I feel like the family housing is for those kind of parents, not the kind of parents who are having a baby fresh out and then are suddenly at college. Because I feel like she would be having the baby at Columbia. Because I feel like 9 months will have gone by then.
Yeah.
It'll be a very fresh baby that she's trying to take care of while
so
starting
like
off at Columbia.
Okay, I understand what you're saying. Like she had the baby. Wait, she had the baby and then she went to Columbia, or
No, I feel like
Columbia?
she'll be at Columbia because it takes like 9 months, and they're almost done with spring.
You're right. So
and summer's only 3 months, so she'll have either just had the baby and then the next day go to Columbia, or have the baby
in Columbia for a few weeks and then the baby comes out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Either way, that's not a good way to go about
It's not.
starting. Having a baby is not easy.
It's not. It's not. And a lot of daycare centers actually don't let you bring the baby in until it's at least like a month and a half.
Exactly. So what is she going to be taking the baby to her journalism classes?
Yeah, exactly.
I feel like the professors aren't going to allow that. I don't know. I've never been to Columbia.
You know, I'm supposed to really take the baby out of the house.
Yeah.
You can't just take a 2-day-old baby just like nasty, dirty New York. Like, come on.
But then there's that next part, which you can mention.
Yeah. Okay. So the ringer of the whole cog in the machine, not cog in the machine, the whole thing that's going to help this whole like thing run smoothly is not only am I going to be in New York, like not only to have family housing and daycare, but Eli is going to be helping me.
She hasn't even told Eli that she's pregnant yet.
He just got
into the plans
to raise this baby.
She probably has Allie in her plan. Allie's probably going to drop her plan to cure cancer and move in with Claire in the family housing.
We're like, I guess we're just going to have a big family housing unit. We can't even have an apartment. We need an actual house because everybody's going to be living with us down in New York.
Since she can't take the baby to class, it's going to be Eli or Allie taking care of the baby while she goes forth and becomes a journalist.
I guess she just assumed that Eli was just going to be sitting at home filming the baby.
You can't assume these things.
He's going to be filming the baby as his film studies class.
So the moms, being as wise as they are, they tell her it's not going to work, and they start coming up with a new plan. They said that if she wants to keep this baby, she's got to stay in Toronto where she can have some support, and Claire just gets up and starts to walk out.
Like,
immature.
Are you trying to prove to them that you're childish? Is that what your goal is?
You having a baby, but you a baby yourself.
Exactly.
Like
walking out like you just gonna storm out.
Like, come on, stop. Okay, they show Claire leaning against this newspaper stand, and Drew, I guess he spots her and he's like, "Oh, Claire!" And then she starts walking to get away from him, and he's like, he catches up with her. And Claire said she's on her way to find Allie so she can talk to somebody who really supports her. Okay, Trick, you were leaning against a newspaper stand. You were not walking anywhere.
See you going anywhere.
This is a very sporadic, of the moment decision that you are making right now. You were not on your way to talk to Allie. You were contemplating.
I don't know who's on their way, standing somewhere. I feel like you need to move to be going somewhere. You
were just standing in the middle of the freaking sidewalk.
Okay.
Reading the Times.
Yeah, like, I know. Yeah, come on. Really?
Get it together, please. Just tell the truth a little bit. And she actually gets mad at Drew for telling his mother. Sorry, he did the responsible thing.
She's like, why did you tell your mom?
Can't believe you tell your mom about it.
I can't tell my mom. Just because you don't want to tell your mom and
doesn't
be
mean
a good person.
I want to be a hoodlum.
And I can tell my mom that I have a child entering the world. Sorry for being responsible. And
she was about to tell Eli, and that was perfectly okay, but she's mad at Drew for wanting to tell his mother.
You have to go and tell your mom. Wait, so you were literally planning on telling Eli, your ex-boyfriend,
Ex-
he's not your
ex-boyfriend that you have put into your plans.
He said, you just told him, and I can't tell my own mama. I can't tell my mama.
And Drew's like, this is going to be a lot harder than we think. And she's like, oh, what did you expect us to just be together and live in a house and drive in a station wagon? Nobody drives station wagons anymore. For one thing. Last time I seen a station wagon was in the friggin' movie Beethoven or something like that. And so then she's like, this only disrupts our lives if we let it. That's a quote, a direct quote. This only disrupts our lives if we let it. Said by Claire.
Claire, I really don't think you know what you're up against this
I mean,
time, buddy. I'm sorry.
How are you in the accelerated program? I keep coming back. I don't somebody make me understand, because I don't understand.
I feel like Claire, maybe Claire's just planning on having a child with stunted emotional, like, growth. Because that's what happens when you just leave your kid, like, for other people to care for, or for the kid to just be just sitting there in your family housing unit forever, because that's what it seems like is going to happen.
Yeah.
And the kid's just going to be on its own while you go do your life.
It's going to learn to be independent.
Yeah.
Like, come on, stop.
Killing me, Smalls.
So that happened, and then we go to the kitchen with the rubber room kids. And and he's like, Zig, he's like, we gotta do something else. I gotta prove I'm a real man.
Yeah.
And then Grace says, well, real men get home tattoos, aka stick and pokes.
That's not true.
How is that a competition? That's not a competition.
Exactly. I feel like I can't win in that. Like, getting a stick and poke. Like,
and it's weird because they're at Maya's house. Where's Maya's mother when all this? Maya's
like
mom is always there.
Maya's mom is very, like, into her child's.
No hanky-panky.
Yeah.
But she's just not there for when the world is about to go down.
Exactly.
Then we go to Winston and Miles, who are on a bro date.
Yes,
and they're playing a shooting game.
Yeah.
And then Tristan, of course, shows up because Tristan just has a sixth sense when
exactly.
it comes to Miles. Knows where he's located. Uh-huh. And he's like, oh, what are you guys playing? Oh, a shooting game? Let's play Just Dance.
Yeah, I don't care what you guys are doing. I don't care if I'm interrupting anything. I'm playing Just Dance with my boyfriend.
Like, dude, like you don't get to just come in and decide the terms of this bro date that is happening.
And Miles is not standing up for Winston at all. He's just like
smiling at Tristan.
Oh, like, okay, well,
my boyfriend, you're so great. Oh my God. Tristan, you're just so I love you. I love you so much.
There was no in the science class, there was no hey, Tris, can I just take this little time with my friend?
He looked at Winston like, yeah, you best bounce.
You gotta go. There was no, during this game thing, no, hey, can we finish this round and then we'll play what you want to play.
Like, I mean, you've known Winston since before you guys were 7.
I know.
You got time on your side. He stood by you while you were a total tool, jerk.
Yeah. And now boyfriend dibs go over. He needs to call some best friend dibs.
Like, for friggin' real. So, yeah, that was interrupted. And then Claire and Drew storm in on a date of Ben Dallas. Yes, we're actually seeing a Degrassi couple on a date.
Ben
Yay!
Dallas. Yeah.
And then they try to make them choose sides on who's right.
Yeah.
Drew's right. Just so you know. Drew's right because he's trying to be responsible.
Yeah.
Like, there's no debating about it. So yeah, that happens, and we go back to the rubber room crew at Maya's house, and they're about to do this stick and poke tattoo. And Grace is like, you better lay down just in case you pass out. And I was like, he's not gonna pass out. Oh my God, he's not. And Zig doesn't wear sleeves anyway, so he doesn't have to roll up his sleeves for this.
Exactly. He's like, my sleeve should cover it. Yeah.
And then they just show her. They just show her going in. And the Zig's like, no! Oh my God, I can't do this. Pillow. Give me some sleeves. Where's my sleeves at? Where'd I put them? Where'd I throw them?
My parka.
Oh my God. Where's my cardigan? What's going on? My jacket, my leather jacket. And the little we find out, Grace was actually bluffing. She's never even done a stick and poke tattoo. I'm wondering if Zig hadn't said anything, would she have stopped, or would she have actually put the needle in his skin?
Like she had to be bluffing. Like, she had to be.
I think she was bluffing, but I feel like she actually would have did it if Zig hadn't stopped. Because Grace is just... Grace is not one to let go of her poker face.
That's true.
Ever. And so, yeah, that happened. Zig didn't get a stick and poke tattoo.
Yes.
Thank goodness, because Grace did not know what she was doing at all. And then they go back to the Dot, and Allie and Claire, they're getting a drink, and Claire says...
Claire needs some water because she cannot have coffee.
So hard.
Yes. She cannot have coffee. She's pregnant, Drew says. That's not good for the baby. So they get some water, and...
Claire's like, oh, why don't you get... Claire tells Allie, why don't you get the guy's attention with your boobs? Like, trick, swerve. Like, stop it. Your boobs are huge.
Okay, yeah. You talking about my cleavage out this one time that I'm on a date with my man.
Your boobs are always boisterous. But for some reason, Allie doesn't call her out on that. But we're calling you out, Claire Edwards.
Your boobs are always talking to people.
And then Claire sees a woman with a baby, and she's just like, oh my God,
how do you be a mother? Is it hard?
Yeah, and the mom's like, it's really hard, but it's worth it because he's just a little gem. No. And then the woman
literally
asks Claire, who is a perfect stranger to her,
don't know her from Eve.
Do you want to hold him?
You want to hold my child?
Canadians!
What are you doing?
Canadians! Stop! I know you guys are known for being super nice, but there are just certain things
there are boundaries
that you need. Oh my God, you don't give your baby to a perfect stranger.
Don't do that.
Claire could have whipped out a jiu-jitsu move, backhand slapped the woman in the face and ran off with the baby.
But you don't know her from Eve. You serious? Are you kidding me? This can't be real.
I just
Canadians are far too trusting.
I'm sorry. Is this really how things go about in Canada? Like, honestly, I just need to know, just in case I ever decide to move there. Exactly. I know the conduct. I know how I'm supposed to act. I know that I'm supposed to leave my doors unlocked. I'm supposed to hand my babies off to strangers.
I don't want somebody to ask if they can hold my baby, and I'm sitting here like a crazy person saying no.
Right. So because that's just not the way you're supposed to do it.
Yeah, that's not how you do it in Canada, obviously.
Eli rushes in. He's like, "Oh my God, Claire!" And then
you were sick.
And then he sees Drew, and he's like, "What are you doing here? What's going on here?" And Claire's like, Eli, I'm pregnant. Like, you're in the middle of the Dot. Take him outside.
Was there any
back room?
There was no, can I talk to you outside about this?
This is really important. It's a pretty private situation that I need to inform you about. Sure, maybe Ben Dallas and Drew already know, of course, that she's pregnant. But still, you were in the presence of a lot of strangers. A woman who just handed her baby off to you. You need to walk outside and have a conversation.
Exactly. Just in front of everybody.
She really doesn't know how to do things in private. Like, honestly,
that's not her strong suit in any way, shape, or form.
So then they go back to Winston, Tristan, and Miles, and
they're playing Just Dance.
Yeah, Winston and Tristan are like busting a move, and Winston accidentally hits Tristan because they're in a pretty tight space. Yeah. There's like this little footrest thing and like a wall. Like, there really isn't room to be playing Just Dance. So, yeah, Winston actually hits him. And then Miles hits Winston, saying that he did it on purpose. Yeah. Like, you know what you did. You like, dude, do you not see how small of a space we're in right now?
It's like if we were playing Just Dance right now.
Yeah, like right here. Getting money. Getting money. Yeah. Like, no. You can't.
There's no room.
Shake your groove thing in a space that small.
There's not.